Yeah, all right. All right. Good day, everyone. Good day. Good day. Trust you had a wonderful and productive week. Today is another session for um, sorry, for our AWS user study group. Today we are taking the beginner session, which we are talking about the system services and daemons. Right. So you're welcome. Uh, Please do let me know, or do let us know where you are chatting us or where you are joining us from. Please, you could just wait for like 2 to 3 minutes before we start the session. We have a man in the house, the person of Kennedy, who is going to take us through today's session. So today's session is fully hands-on. Yeah, you're welcome. Kennedy, can you hear me?
Yes, me, I can hear you.
Yeah, great, great, great. So Kennedy is in the house. We also have some other speakers, some other team members or team leads also in the group. They are in the backstage. I see you, God's time. I see you, Keme. Yeah. So we just wait for 2 to 3 minutes. So do let us know where you are joining us from. And also, please, you could share the link and invite your friends to join the session. Sorry, hello, Kennedy. Sorry, I didn't know my mic was mute. I've been speaking for the past 2 minutes. So I see everyone that joined. I can see you, Abdulrazak. I can see you, Chika Dipia. You're welcome to the today's session. Yeah, so today we have our colleague, our friend here, Kennedy, who will be taking us through today's session. Today's session is more of an hands-on session. So you'll be seeing systems, services, and daemons. So Kennedy will be the one taking us through today's session. Yeah, Kennedy, are you ready for us?
Yes, I'm here.
Great, great, great. So I'll be leaving the floor for you, so you can.
Okay. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, hi guys. My name is Kennedy. Today we are going to um discuss about services and daemon and how to operate on the services. So it's going to be more of hands-on session, right? So there's no PowerPoint slide to this. So we are going straight to the VS Code. I have a little test file, right, that can help us out, to navigate through what we have for today. So I'm going to share my screen. So, okay, all right. So let me know. Simi, can you confirm if my screen is visible?
Yeah, your screen is
Yeah.
visible. Yeah, we can see your screen.
All right. And in terms of the size, should I zoom out or is it okay?
Yeah, it's better. It's better.
It's
It's
visible.
better.
Okay, fine.
Yes.
Awesome. All right, guys. So just a brief. Today we're going to discuss about system services, demos, and you know we interact with some services. In the course of the discussion, towards the last part of the discussion, we are going to create, a custom service, just a simple hello world custom service, just have a feel of how to interact and work with services. So services actually they are very important as far as the functionality of the computer system that the DevOps engineer operates on. So these services they actually run in the background, right? Even as I have my computer system running, a lot of services are running at the background. So we have this in Windows, we have it in Linux. So whatever operating system you have, right, you have services that are running at the background that are needed to perform a number of tasks, right, for the system. So at some example of the task can be to manage the hardware, obviously, network connection, um, and other functionalities. For example, you can create a service, that can help to deploy, right, to run an application, right, anytime the system boots and all that. I've worked on a project whereby we used a service, a custom service to as part of a CI workflow. Uh, yeah, that is with Jenkins, right? Okay, so stuff like that. So we use these services to perform a number of important functionalities within a computer system. So now, daemons are a special kind of services. Now, the daemons, what is special about daemons is that they don't, they are not tightly coupled with user interaction, right? So these daemons, they normally run when the system boots, and they continue to run in the background. So, but they become active, right, when the particular task they are designed for is executed. For example, you can have an NGNS server, right? You can have an Apache server. You can have a Postgres server. Now, these servers, they run at the background. Okay. Now, if it is NGNS server, like you want to serve maybe uh, your web application, right? Anytime, let's say that particular application is hit on a browser, automatically the server will run and serve whatever file that we have, the static file that we have defined in the HTML package and all that. So that's just a bit about demo. So now I just let's just see how this stuff looks like. In this particular uh, system, I don't have NGNS installed at the moment. So let's just try. I'll just install NGNS quickly. We use it and understand the other items that we are going to look into today. So if I install NGNS, I'm going to use, let me just do this. I will install this guy. So once I install NGNS server, let me do this. Okay. So once I install NGNS server, it's going to configure a service for NGNS that is going to run within the system. So now the question is, how do you have a service that is running the system? How do you interact with the service, right? How do you manage the service? These are some of the commands that can be used, to manage services that are running in your system. So we use these commands. Systemctl command is very useful anytime you are trying to interact with the services that are running, that is within the Linux environment, because we are discussing about Linux and not Windows. Okay, so with the systemctl, we can check the status of the service. You can start a service, you can stop a service, you can start a service, you can do a lot of stuff. Um, apart from this four, but obviously, if you are trying to interact with services, right, this four will be very much needed. So now I have NGNS service, right, configured by that installation that I just did. So if I do, let me just try it as it is. If I do systemctl status, and I put ngns, so let's see what will happen. So this particular command, what this command does is it tries to tell us, an overview of the service that we have. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so fine. So at the moment, if you look at this system, okay, I think I did not spell it well. Sorry. System CTL. Okay, fine. So if you look at this, this command shows us a summary of, of the service, the NGNS service. So that time we installed NGNS, right, into this system, it configured this service. So I'm going to talk about, this particular file, how to configure our own, because I'm going to do that in the course of this discussion. So it configured this service from this directory. So you can see this is this directory live system D. So inside of the system D system directory, it configured ngns.service file, right? And because of how the script was written for ngns, right, it started the service. So this service is active, is running, but now it's not going to be as if it's not doing anything, because for now we have not actually tried to let's say connect or serve a HTML, static file, stuff like that, right? So once you try to serve, there's a default, obviously there's a default um, static file, the one that wants to that that will tell you that this configuration happened to be working properly, right? So we are not going into that. So system CTS status gives us the status of the service, whether the service is active, right? Whether is not active, whether it has stopped running, or maybe there's an issue. Yeah, that's what it does. So now this so this particular service is already running. So it means that these guys have been executed already. So I don't have to do this because it is already running, right? If I want to stop the service, I'll just do system CTL. I'll stop the service name in this case is NGNS. So if I run this, okay, is okay for me to do this. Obviously, I have to log into this. I mean, I don't think I configure the password for this guy yet. Let me just do that, see if it will work. Okay. All right. Okay, so this may not work because I want to create a user and a password for this, but let me try something. See if it's going to override that. System CTL. Oh, stop. The service is NGNS. Okay, so fine. All right, so now the service has stopped. So if I go back and check the status, right, it's going to tell me that, hey, the NGNS service is not active, so like it's dead, right? Because I stopped it. Okay, so so that is that. So sometimes when you configure a service and the service is not maybe functioning, you need to be able to check the status to know whether it is up and running, right? So if it's not up and running, you can check the log, right? I'll show you how to check the log of a service over time. You can check the log to see if there's any issue with your service. So that is what a status command does. So we use the status command to check the status of your service, whether it's running, whether it's not running. We use the system CTS start to start a service. So this service now that I've stopped, I can start it by using this. and I have the service up again. So if I check the status, right, I have it running once more. Okay, so that is just it. So these commands are very important. Now, if for any reason the service, let's say you configure the service and then the service fails to start, or the service happen to have an issue, right? And then you go back to the script and then make some changes, right? Having to make some updates. Or let's say, for example, you have a service like this and you customize it to serve your purpose. Because obviously, if you're working with engineers, right, um, sometimes there'll be need for you to make some updates, like customize the NGNS settings to be able to meet whatever use case you want to perform with it. So if you make such updates, um, you have to restart the the service, right, for the update to be picked up. So that is what this restart is used for. So use restart to kind of restart the service to be able to pick any update that you made to the service, maybe in the process of customizing it for your own use case and others. So please, as we are going through this, if you have any question, you can put it on the chat, right? I'm sharing my screen, so I'm not going to see anything that's happening over there. But once I'm done with this, the questions will be addressed. And Simi, please confirm that you can still hear me, so that I know that I'm not talking to myself. Simi, are you there? Just a confirmation.
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay, awesome. Okay, thank you. All right, so that is that about the important command that can be used to interact with a system service. So if you want to get more information about the system CTA command, you can use the manual. So there is a built-in uh, manual that can be used. So use the command man for manual, then system CTL. So when you run this, it's going to give you an idea about, just give you an overview about system CTL command. Just tell you what the command is all about. Used to control system D system and service manager, and then I'll tell you, the sort of syntax, right? System CTL, whatever option the command. So if you want to learn more about system CTL, so use man system CTL, then I'll scroll down and read as much as you want. So if you want to quit, use on your keyboard, you can use Q to quit. Okay, so take note of that. So what I have here is just few examples, just four of them. But when you go through this the manual, the beauty manual, right, you're going to see more options that can be used with system CTL. But for now, checking the status is very important because you want to know the status of your system, the services that are running. You also want to start a service that is not running, and sometimes we need to stop or kill a service. Sometimes we need to restart a service. So you use this and take note of some of the system CTL functionality will require you to use a sudo. So you have to take note of this, right? Guys, you need sudo have permission to be able to perform some of the functionality. For example, when I tried to stop the service NGNS, I had issues, right? But the sudo was able to help me to fix that. So let's take note of that. Okay, so now, so this is what it is. Then sometimes we need to configure services to start at boot. That is, once your system boots up, you will need this the services. You need some services to start right away without waiting for you to come and hit or run systemctl start, right? So for you to do that, it's something very simple. You use systemctl enable and then put the name of the service. So you are trying to enable the service, to start once the system boots up, right? So that is that. Then if you want to disable that, you use systemctl disable to achieve that. Okay, so now the fun part of the whole thing is how to create um, custom service. Now, remember what I said. Obviously, in a system like this, you have a number of services that will be configured. Let me get a directory. Let's go to this directory and so that you see what I'm talking about. So in this system, um, I'll open another. Okay, so fine. So if I change directory to, or maybe yeah, let me change directory to this. So if I go to this directory, the etc system this system, in this directory I can list out um, the services that are already running in this system. So as you can see, there are quite a number of services. Some of them obviously came by default, like once the instance, was provisioned, it came with some of the services, right? For example, you can see there is sshd dot service. So this is a service file. You can see the sshd keygen dot service dot d. Yeah, some of them are directories. Then inside of the directories, you have the actual service configured within the directory. So this is just what this stuff looks like. So all these are this is system log dot service, right? So now if you create your own service, obviously you have to bring it into this folder, right, for you to be able to use the service. So uh, as I mentioned earlier, as a DevOps engineer, sometimes you need to configure a CI/CD pipeline, right? And let's say, for example, you are trying to deploy, a web application, back end, front end, whatever, right? And then your deployment pattern happen to be by means of an instance, let's say EC2 instance, because I'm using EC2 instance. So now, if you want to deploy an application, right? Once the application starts in the EC2 instance, and then you go and set up your security group, right? Open up the right port, right? You can be able to access the application that is running using the IP address, the IP address of the instance. Now, imagine you want to automate this process, and now you want to do that using a CI/CD pipeline, right? Let's say you want to use Jenkins to achieve that. Obviously, in your configuration, you configure Jenkins to get into this server and start this application in this server. Like you don't want to do it manually, right? You want it to be automated. Now, if you have Jenkins, anytime Jenkins gets into this, right, into your server, you want Jenkins to run that application so that you can be able to access the application via the IP address. Now, you notice that if you use a service, if you create a service, right, to start that application, it will save a lot of work for you. What Jenkins needs to do is just to get into the service, into the system, and that is all, right? And change whatever file you want to that is updated in your repo, right? To cause the deployment to be continuous and stuff like that. I know we're going to discuss about that later on. So if you use a service for that setup, right, it will help out in a way to make your work to be very easy. So that's why it's very important that DevOps engineer we understand how to interact with services. So even after this session, I will advise us to try to open these files, but you have to be careful because if you mistakenly change anything in the file, it may break a very important service that may not even allow you right to log into your server again. So right, so whatever you're doing, you have to be very careful. But opening it up will help you out to at least understand how the structure looks like. So let's look at this one and see how it looks like. So if I cut this guy, I hope I'm able to open it up. But let's see. Okay, it did. Awesome. So if I cut this guy, you will see the structure of the file because we're going to be creating a similar file very soon. So if you look at this file now, the file has three important parts. The unit where you put in the description of the service. In this case, they added a documentation. Sorry. In this case, they added a documentation using the man command, right? Um, then after, it's just about the target, right? So network.target. Then yeah, and some other stuff that can be defined under this. Then you have the service proper. So the service is where you specify the script, right, that the service should run. Now, this process is about automation. So there are a number of ways to do this. You can use a shell script, a bash script to run whatever actions you want your service to perform, and then point uh, bringing the path to that shell script within this service section. So we're going to look at that very soon, right? Um, so that is just what this section represents. Then you have the last section, install wanted by multi-user targets, if you want to put aliases and stuff like that. So this is just how it looks like. So if you open the other services, you have similar structure. Obviously, some of them uh, we tend to be very complex because of the complexity of their functionality. But now that is not what we're after. We just need to understand how to create our own, a very simple one, use it to understand how this thing works. Then over time, we can look at documentations, um, look at existing files and learn more about this. So that is that for this. Okay, so how do we create a custom resource? Now, to create a custom resource, the first thing you're going to do is you need to define the script. You need to define the script. Let me save this. So if you want to create a custom resource, you need to define the script that the service we run that will describe the actions that the service will perform. So now for this demo, we are going to use a very simple hello world bash script. So let me bring it up here. So a very simple hello world bash script, that's what we're going to use. So what this script will do is that, what this thing does is, why true, obviously, is always true. So it's going to be printing hello world, all right, every 5 seconds. So it will print the first hello world and sleep for 5 seconds and then print another hello world. So it will continue to print hello world. And remember, since we're going to run this as a service, right, it's going to be printing this at the background. So you're not going to see it, right? But there's a way to see the logs of your services. I'm going to show us that very soon. So we're going to create a service that will perform this little action. So this one is just a very simple action. Now, like I said, if you are trying to deploy an application, you can use a bash script like this and write the command that will deploy your application, and then point a service to this particular script, and then the service we use the script, we execute the script, right? Anytime is running. So that is that. So let's do this. I've already added this, or so let's see what we're gonna do. So now after creating the shares the bash share script, we need to create the service script, right? Yeah, that we're going to point this bash share script to. So we can just call it, I can still call it hello, or whatever I want to call it, dot service. So let's create this stuff now. Coming. Okay, so let's see. Let me do it from here. So I'll have hello dot service. So that is the name. So hello is the name of the service. So this dot service is a very important extension, right? So that the system will understand that this guy is a service. But remember, by creating this file here, will not automatically make the system to understand that it's a service. You have to move it to the right directory, right? The system D system directory for the system to understand that is a service. Okay, so I'll go ahead and create this this file. So hello.service. So this file don't need you. So this file, let me pick this from here. Just those three guys I described, right? Nothing much. So I'll just copy this guy. We use this to create that file. Okay, fine. So let me expand this so I understand it better. So looking at this, I need to bring these guys back. Okay, fine. So these are the three sections that I explained earlier. So unit where you describe your service. So I can say, okay, call this hello world demo of the DevOps demo or whatever. So we are using a network.target. Right, let's leave it as it is. The most important aspect of this is the script to be executed, right? Once the service starts, so exec starts. That is the most important aspect of this. So what we're going to do now is we're going to bring in the full part of the script. We want this service to run once it starts. Okay, so we have the service here. So let me get the full part of this service. I'll use pwd to get the directory, the full directory, and then I'll append it to the script name. So the name of the bash script is hello.sh. So I have hello. Sorry, I have hello.sh. So now looking at this, remember what I said, this is the most important aspect of what we are doing. The script that will be executed, right, once the service starts running. So the full part is what you need, not a relative part. So you need the full part, the absolute part. All right, yeah, so that is that. You can leave this, all these other ones as default. Okay, so I'll save this. Now, we have created hello.service file, but if you look, this file is inside of, it's not in the right directory yet. So I will need to move it. I need to move it I need to move it to the right directory. So we are moving the file hello.service. We're moving the file to the right directory. So remember, the directory is etc systemd system, right? So I'll pick this up, and then I have this. So what this is going to do is going to move the hello service from where we have it, to move it to the etc systemd system, so that it will be in the same directory as the other services. So so I've moved it. That's why it has been removed from this side. So now we have the custom service that we just created. We have the file in the systemd directory, right? Now let's see if you should if you if we start this, if we reload the daemon now, and then start this service, that is the hello service. If you start this service or try to run it, automatically once you run the service, it will try to execute this particular script. But remember, from our last session, we discussed about about users and permissions and all that, right? So if you check the permission level for the hello.sh, you notice that this particular script, we can only, the user which I represent, like at the moment Ubuntu, can only read and write. Okay, the group can only read and write. So there's no execution permission at the moment. So what it means that the service, if you try to run this script, is going to fail, because right, there is no permission for it to be executable as such. So we need to make it executable. And how do we do that? We use ch mode. Like, we need to change the mode uh, with +x. Remember, s represents execute. Then you put the file name, that is hello.sh. So with this now, if I check the permission again, you notice that the user can be able to execute this file, right? In fact, the three, the user, the group, and other users, everybody can be able to execute this. So that means the system can be able to execute this script. So we are good to go. Okay, so now so after this, what we're going to do next is we're going to reload the system D. Remember, we just added a new entry to the system D. So for now, the system cannot be able to has not been able to pick that service up yet. So by the time we reload the system D using this command, it's going to pick that up. So if I run this command, it's going to reload the daemon, and now the service that we just created is recognized by the system. So, but now, by default, the service is not going to start. So we need to start the service. If I try to check, the status, if I do systemctl status, the name of the service we created is hello. If I run this, it's going to tell me that hello.service. So this that that service that hello.service file that we created. Remember we gave this description as hello world DevOps demo. So it has loaded the service, but it's inactive, right? Because I've not uh, started it yet. So to start this, we do system CTL start, then hello. So system CTL start hello. Okay, this stuff again. Fine. Oh, God. So let's see. I use sudo to take care of that. Uh, so if I do this, so the system has started. Let me use this. So if I do system CTL, and then I'll do status again. Then the name of the service that we created, hello. So we see that the service that we created is active now and is running. So what is it doing at the background? Is running that hello.sh script. That means, remember we pointed this script, this bash script. So it's running this, right? So it runs this script based on the instruction the action that we define in the script. So you can see here, if I go down, you will see hello world, hello world, hello world, hello world, right? So it prints hello world, and then and sleep for 5 seconds, print another hello world. So I actually expect that yeah, so I expect to have plenty of the hello words, but it's fine. So now so that is how we can interact with this. Now let's try and change something in this our share script and see what will happen. So hello, I put DevOps words. Let's see. Maybe wrong. So if I it's still running, right? So if I check the status, okay, wait, because this status is a bit noisy. So let's get the logs alone. So there is a command that can be used to view the log. So you can use system journal CTL rather. So you can use journal CTL with the flag -u, and then the name of the custom service hello. So if I run this will just give me the logs, right? Yeah, but statically. So if I want it to follow up the logs, I will have to use -fu. So this fu means kind of follow up. That means automatically to be updating with the logs after every 5 seconds. So let's try that. Let's try that. If I do this and I put hello, so this one, after 5 seconds, it will print hello world. After 5 seconds, to print hello world. After 5 seconds, to print hello world. So it will continue to print hello world because that is the instruction given. Now, if you check, if you notice what is happening here, you notice that I've updated this guy. I've updated this script, but it's still printing hello world, right? Yeah, probably because I've not done something, right? Um, so let's see. If we restart, if you restart the if you restart the service, let's see if that will help us out. But this is just what it is. So this guy will continue to print hello world as far as this loop is true, and obviously true is true, so it's going to be true forever. It means that this guy is going to run forever and ever, because I don't think true can ever be false for this loop to break, right? Okay, so that is that. Let me stop this. So I've made an update on the share script. So if I want to see this update, if I want this update to, kind of come into existence, let's try. We can use system CTL. I think there is restart install, sorry, restart hello. That's the name of the service. So I will try that. So I will started hello. So if I run the journal CTL command again, so I'm going to have, right, so this is what we have. So it stopped it. That time I restarted, it stopped it and then started it again. Now with the update, hello DevOps world, no longer hello world. So guys, this is how you can, you know, play around with this. So this one is a very simple script, right? But I tell you, you can do anything at this point, because this is where you write the instruction. This is where you write the action. This is where you write whatever um, whatever action you want, the custom service to run. Okay. There are a lot of stuff you can do here. You can, like I said, you can deploy your application here. You can run a particular command here. You can do anything here. So, and remember, it's not only bash that can be used to do this. You can also use Python to automate it. But based on what we are discussing, right, I guess this will help us out. And again, a session is coming in the future whereby one of the of my team members, we discuss about how to, work on a bash shell script like this and write some interesting stuff with this. So I'm going to stop at this point and I'll take questions if there is any. So I'm going back to, okay. So Simi, is there any question for me? Hello, Simi, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Sorry, there's no question as of now. From what I can see in the chat, there's no
Hello,
question.
Simi, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can. I can.
Yeah, yeah, see, there's
All
no
right.
question in the chat.
Okay. It's fine. So let's just try this out on our own ends, and yeah. So yeah, I'm done. Thank you very much, Simi. Over to you.
All right, all right. So this is really an insightful session. Thank you, Kennedy, for you for opening, at least giving us an insight to the world of system services and Daemons. Yeah, thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank you to everyone. So there's a question from Abdulrazak. I'm not sure we got that. Abdulrazak, could you please type your question again? Because I can't see that in the chat here. Abdulrazak, we're waiting for you. Your time is almost up. We have less than 4 minutes to go. So we just use that minute to wait for any question. If there's none, then we would call it a day.
Which directory is he talking about?
Not sure. Maybe it's asking regarding the directory that that the script is kept also.
Oh. Well, we can make that available just to pull it out of the instance, right?
No, I'm not
If that's the
sure.
case, no issues there. So
I'm not sure. As is what I'm assuming is asking is that if the that's the directory that's your script, that's the hello.sh, where the script is saved on the server, I believe. That which directory is it? I'm not sure. But I assume that that's what is asking.
Okay. Yeah, since the question is not complete, maybe we can put it on the group. We take it off from there.
Yes, okay, yes. So that's
Yeah.
another thing. So for if maybe the question comes, or if you still because now we can't get your question correctly. So what you could do for us is okay, so he's asking, I'm only interested in the readme.txt file. How do we get it? Okay, okay. So we will drop that. So Kennedy is asking regarding the that's what you use for your presentation. That how do we get the file that you use for your presentation? So that would Kennedy we can share that in the community group. I believe you are part of the community group. That's our channel on WhatsApp. So we'll share that in the group. And if you are not, we'll also drop the group link in the chats. So just help me with the group link. So drop the group link in the chat before we end the session.
Yeah, it's fine. So I think you have addressed that. It's very easy to get.
Okay, with that, we can call it a day. Thank you very much for everyone that joined us in this session. Do have a wonderful day.